All right, so we're gonna be demonstrating how we do Leave It with a game called It's Your Choice. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kind of show you how the mechanics work of this game. Now I have my dead hand, which is the hand that will never give out treats. What we can do is we can go back and drop treats back into our pouch, or we can stop the game altogether, change up hands, and then give treats, or we can wait until this hand is empty and eventually just start putting treats back. But this is my dead hand. Right now it has 3 treats, so it's pretty simple. And what we do with our dead hand is we offer the dead hand, we wait for them to leave it on their own, and then we go ahead and we reward that. Now, this is one where you can actually start to give the cue before they know the behavior, but what's important is that you don't give multiple cues. So a lot of the times, one mistake that I see a lot of people make is they say leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, and then they reward on the exact moment that they leave it item. What we want to do is we want to make it so that they listen on the first cue rather than, feeling like they don't need to listen until the 6th or 7th cue. So you're going to offer your dead hand, leave it. Good. And then as soon as the nose goes away from that treat, we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark and reward that. Leave it. Good. And as your dog gets better, you can slowly increase the difficulty. So what I like to do is I like to go from a fist to kind of an open claw. Leave it. Good. And of course she already knows this drill, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to increase the difficulty. But when you're teaching a dog who doesn't have a solid leave it already, you're going to have to kind of slow this down a little bit. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good job. Leave it. Good. And what I'm looking for eventually is for her to go from turning her nose away from it to actually looking up at me, so that when we do walk past a distraction and I say leave it, she looks up at me rather than just ignoring it altogether. So she's taking her focus away from the distraction and then looking up at me instead. Leave it. Good. Now notice she's a little bit interested when it is an open palm. So I'm just gonna kind of lift the hand away so that she can have that opportunity to change that up on herself. Leave it. Good. And eventually I can bring this hand lower. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good. To where I can kind of push her a little bit. Leave it. Good job. And that's how you're going to practice and reinforce that leave it. You can change up the difficulty of your treats. You can change it to a toy. You can change it to your own food. I tend to practice this with my own food as well, so that my dogs have a solid understanding of what they are allowed to engage with and what they're not allowed to engage with. So if they get too interested in my food, I reinforce that leave it, and then I put them onto a placemat so that they learn begging's not okay. But that leave it is gonna get you started on pretty solid behaviors. And that's one that you can use in your CGC as well when you eventually get to that portion of the test where you need to leave food on the ground.